Welcome back to Burke! We're now looking at the Actions tab. This is where you can make things happen. It's a lot of fun in here. Absolutely love it. We've got showing an object, hiding an object, painting the object a different color, enabling or disabling an object, making it usable or not usable. We have the ability to set its simulations on and off, so true or false is how that one works, and setting gravity, true or false. We also have the ability to display text. So if you have a text object, you can display text on it. So you could change it, like if it was a player's score, you can display a different score. We then have playing animation, which if you had recorded an animation on an object, you can now play that animation. And after you've played it, you can even pause it and then play it again, or you could just stop it altogether so it starts from the beginning. Next, we have our sound. We can play sound, pause sound, stop sound. This also affects music as well as recording. One other important note on sound, I highly recommend when you play sound, you stop the sound first. This prevents any issues to happen. I do this on animation as well as visual effects too. It's not necessary, but it does make it more seamless and prevents any issues that could potentially arise. Particles and trails, playing visual effects on that particle or trail effects, and then stopping that visual effect. We also have resetting the world state. I find this doesn't do everything you'd want it to do, so I don't use it unless you really need to. But basically it starts everything back from the original settings, but it doesn't count like when player enter or when world starts. If you're gonna run reset world state, make sure to send the start command to any objects that you need, like any control objects that run on world start. But then keep in mind it still doesn't count when players enter. So again, I don't recommend using resetting world state, but it is there if you need it. Then we have player set voice settings. This allows you to change whether the player's voice is global, local, or just the regular voice settings in the world. So I'll just show you that one real quick. So here you can see that we're setting the voice settings to the environment, which means what are the current settings. We can also set it to the default, global, nearby, or extended. Environment is the one of the current environment. Default is kind of like the normal sound, what it sounds like. Make sure you do specify a player here. If you wanted this to set for all players when a button was pressed, you'd want to define the player. You can do that by going to your operators tab and then getting the player from index. So if you put the player from index, you just have to type in a number. Those numbers start at 0, so if you had an 8-player world, you could duplicate this 8 times using the slide over to duplicate, so that's your joystick to the right. And so once you have that, you could type in 0, 1, 2 through 7, and then you'd have all 8 players have their voice settings being adjusted. I do recommend running this through like on a trigger or any action that brings a player value with it, so that way, like on a microphone, if they have grabbed the microphone, then you have a player ID. So if you go to Events tab and you grab when object is grabbed by player, it comes with a player value, so you can just use that rather than having to look up a player. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Bye!